Hi, it's Morag from our Permaculture Life and the Permaculture Education Institute, and welcome back into my garden. Today I'm going to share with you some of my favourite tips around how to get so much more from your garden simply by shifting your perception. There is so much more food growing in every single garden than most people notice. I want to share with you some of my favourite pumpkin tips about other parts of the pumpkin plant that are edible beyond your beautiful pumpkin that you're waiting for. Well, firstly, pumpkin flowers. So you can eat this pumpkin flower right while you're walking around the garden. Oh, it's such a subtle and soft flavour. The male ones have just the single stamen in the middle and have a single stem. The female ones have the little baby pumpkin here. So you want to leave those so you get more pumpkins and eat these ones. You can put them in cooking, in salads, and some people even sort of dip them and use them like a tempura. That is really nice. So eat your flowers. The second pumpkin tip that I wanted to share with you to unlock the abundance that you see in your garden is this. Eat this bit. Also, totally edible, straight in the garden, fresh and raw. Sorry, little tendril. So all the tendrils edible. You can either take them off like this, cook that up as a stir fry, pop it into a salad, and even the young leaves are absolutely great raw. Of course, you don't want the old scratchy pumpkin leaves raw in a salad, but these young ones are soft and brilliant. So while we're on the tendrils, move a bit further up the stem and you can get the young leaves. Now these are my go-to spinach in the garden when it's pumpkin time. Now it feels a little bit prickly, but as soon as you cook this, that disappears. So I don't eat these ones this size raw, but you could even put maybe some rice and vegetables inside, wrap them up as a little parcel. Whoops. Wrap them up as a little parcel and then put them in dipping sauce. An absolutely fantastic gluten-free wrap. Or just chop it up like you would a spinach leaf. It is so soft and subtle and beautiful. Now, I never thought about eating this until I went to South Korea, probably a couple of decades ago. And there was a table full of all these vegetables and this great big pile of leaves in the middle. And I said to the person next to me, they look a little bit like pumpkin leaves. And surely they were. So my mind exploded to the possibilities of what's edible. Because we often overlook, if someone says to you pumpkin, your mind automatically goes to what you can buy in the supermarket. You know, the finished pumpkin, mature fruit. Yet every single part of the entire plant of pumpkin, from the moment it sprouts to the moment, you can harvest the seeds at the end, it's all edible. Now, another thing that could be edible that you might not have noticed is the immature fruit. Now, even from the moment that it's small, you can just eat it straight raw. I even like to slice it up and use it like I would a zucchini, or you can even make little rounds out of it and use them as dip biscuits. Because you think about it, this is the same family as zucchini, and yet all of the zucchinis we tend to eat when they're immature, but when we think about pumpkin, we like to get the mature fruit, but this is absolutely fantastic. So from any fruit at any stage in the pumpkin, you can eat. So what can you do with immature pumpkins? Well, like you saw, you can eat them straight. You can slice them up into a salad. You can julienne them into a stir fry. You can pop them into a soup, a stew, a curry, whatever. It's totally edible. So if you have a pumpkin vine that is starting to ramble across your pathway and you need to kind of get through, don't worry, just chop back the tendril, take it all into your kitchen. You can use the shoots, the leaves, the flowers, the young fruits, and if you have too much of it, then feel free just to actually think about this as a chop and drop mulch as well. So often what I'll do is it's starting to head off down the terrace, I will just trim things back and pop it back up the hill a bit and mulch maybe under a fruit tree, or if there's too much, add it also to the chickens or into the compost. Look, pumpkins, I have not actually planted a pumpkin for maybe 15 years, but yet it's always in the garden when the time is right. And in fact, I use the pumpkin to be able to tell me when the time is right for that family to be planted. So I read the landscape and think, oh great, the pumpkins are coming up now. So I'll start to plant other of that family. It's like when I see the tomatoes coming up, I'll put other of the Solanaceae family. So learn to read your garden, because it is the best indicator. You know, you can read a chart and say, okay, January I should do this, February I should do this, March I should do this. But if you actually notice your garden and read the chart of your garden, it will tell you when the soil temperature is right, when the soil moisture is right, when the air temperature is right, because the seeds have an inherent intelligence to know when is the suitable time to sprout. So just connect in with that and your garden will take off in ways that you never imagined possible. It's actually not a long time since we forgot that all of the pumpkin is edible. Pumpkin has been one of those plants that has been eaten since, I don't know, there's records that go back to 7000 BC in the Aztecs in the Mesoamerica area. Now, all of the plant was always eaten then. As we've come to a more industrialised food system and just looking at one particular part, we've forgotten that all of this is edible. There's a whole lot of content and courses available at the Permaculture Education Institute. Check out the link up here to find out more. Did you know we've got a whole lot of new t-shirts now too? Organic and fair trade t-shirts. Have a look down below. I've got a booklet about all the key approaches that I take in my garden that help to make this kind of garden possible. You can access it by clicking the link below and getting a download of that. Remember, subscribe, like and share, and I look forward to seeing you next time. See you next time. Take care.